When you're going to approximate T-flaps, it's very important how you approach it. You're going to run into this on examples would be a breast reduction or a radical neck, where you have one incision on one side and two flaps to come together on the other side, and you want them all to meet nicely. The two corner flaps tend to have a little necrosis because there tends to be some tension on it, so you want to do your best to be gentle when you're handling them. So you're coming on the side that has one incision, as you see in the example on the left. You want to stop a couple millimeters before you get to that T-flap where it has the two corners. Stop there is very important because then you're going to go up, and I can't quite demonstrate showing that you're going into the deep dermal on the right stitch there. So then you catch your corners in the dermis on the two T-flaps, and then you bring it around, and when you bring that suture back to where you stopped that last stitch on the one-sided incision, and you can see when you put that stitch in there, when you go to pull that tight, that's going to pull those two corner flaps together and back to where you stopped. So that's going to keep those two edges, actually the three edges, kissing. If at the beginning I didn't know that, if you stopped beyond the flap, there would be a gap at the bottom there because there's nothing to pull those two flaps together. So that's extremely important that you do it that way.
This is going to be a demonstration of an actual T-flap that was a breast reduction that he did probably about 10 years ago. So it'll give you an idea of what I'm talking about. And so I'm coming around. If you notice that I use my left hand, my pinky, to hold the suture out of the way as I come around, taking very shallow bites. As I'm doing a running subcuticular, I'm coming up to the T-flap. It's really, really important that you stop on that T-flap before you get to the actual T on the upper side. This one's very close. Probably could have stopped it back there where this last stitch was just taken, but I'm going to come right up close to it. Now you're going to grab one side of the upper T and go through it, and then you are going to go through the other side. And then because you have stopped before you got to this with your last stitch, you're going to go back to it, and by going back to it, when you tighten it, you will see that as you tighten it, it pulls those two ends together, and there you have it.